I'm Mouse Jones. I'm Matt Watts from Flora.
And we are
Guys Next Door.
I think a lot of people look at cancel culture as its own culture instead of as the policing of several different cultures. You know, it's the policing. Cancel culture is the effect of the policing of black culture. You know, the kids, just as he said, kids that are on the spectrum, LGBTQ, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it is the policing of these different places. I was watching the other day. For the last week and a half, me and Christine have been binging My Wife and Kids. Ironically, that Cat Williams was on. And there's certain jokes and all of that I'm watching that I'm like, oh,
Never would fly today.
and mind you, this
Oh,
was,
My Wife and Kids?
yo, this was like a few years ago,
That
almost.
Was, but that was on like ABC. Like there's
Yeah,
jokes
bro.
that wouldn't.
On
made
some
it.
like
I haven't watched in a while.
just on some like, yo, Junior, are you, like, just certain things like, yo, how much they say somebody's gay or how they look down on being gay or what it could be perceived as looking down.
I got you.
Looking down on being gay. But again, I think watching this whole thing, thinking about what he said, seeing where Cat William has been, what he's gone through, and then seeing this, it's hard. You know, this is literally one small segment, and you know, of a sound clip of you know, something that he's doing on his press tour for his new movie. But it feels like the new age of this new Cat Williams. It's
Right.
It's a beautiful thing to see. But speaking to what he was saying, the cancel culture shit is very, 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 very on point, man. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't look at it the way that they should. You know, it's really just us policing our different cultures.
I find it very funny. I find it very funny when black people of any career, you know, comedian, bus driver, whatever, and when they're screaming about cancel culture, when it affects them.
Yep.
Right? Because when everybody's okay with Matt Lauer losing his job, and everybody's okay with what's the other guy? Louis C.K. Everybody that's been attacked.
Yep.
But when it comes our way, it gets a little skewed when it comes to black people, right? Because then it's like, now you have to measure it against how much do you like this person. Right? So like when it was Bill Cosby, you weren't really measuring it against Bill Cosby, and man, you were weighing it against your love for Cliff Huxtable.
True indeed.
Then you began to say, if he was doing that, then damn, maybe my uncle, my grandfather was doing that.
Getting deep.
And then now I gotta, right? Because now what happens?
Spicy.
What happens when you get knowledge? You start.
My grandfather ain't do that.
He said, "Chill, son. Chill, son."
You just start.
God rest his soul.
We don't know. I'm just saying we don't know what anyone
that
did.
wasn't his thing.
We don't. I'm just saying we don't know what anyone did. But what you do is you begin to start piecing certain thought processes and say, well, if the older people in my life are telling me such and such is okay and move this way with women, then would they find something wrong with this? You get what I'm saying? So now, R. Kelly, same thing. You don't measure it against the acts he did, the egregious acts he did. You measured it against his catalog and how his music made you feel. And go ahead.
I have something that brings that, and I say this all the time. The steps is wild. I'm sorry, shit just be coming down the steps. Do not. This shit's crazy. I was lost. Whoa. But shit is crazy. But I compare it to this. Everybody, the whole Tory Lane shit was going on with him, and how people really was like, it's over for Tory. I'll never listen to his music and all this. And it's like, okay, he wasn't, and I'm not on his side or not on. Like, it's not even about like whose side I'm on, but Chris Brown was charged with whatever he did it was true and all this stuff, but yet people won't cancel Chris, but they'll cancel Tory, and I feel like in a crazy way, it's based on, like you said, who you like more, who looks better more in people's eyes. Like, if Chris was less attractive, like Tory, in people's minds, I don't know. Would they put that on a different spectrum, or no?
So with Chris, and this is not an apologist thing, and it's not me this is literally
Yeah, this is what I'm just trying to
calling,
understand. Because
right.
I've
So-
had this back and forth with somebody. before,
right.
and
So
it's like,
what I
don't
think
get it.
happens with Chris and Tory is it's just simply two different times. It happens almost
I was gonna say
15
that.
years
Yeah, I was-
apart.
exactly.
Right, where there was still a redeemable period for certain artists, or for artists, or for people, however you want to classify it.
Yeah,
And I'll also add age.
The age,
Age
well,
too.
it doesn't even matter what it is. There was a point of redemption, right? People would even talk about it. Okay, this is the redemption tour. You go do this show, you go do this interview, you do this, you do. Mac, you've heard it a billion times, I'm sure. There was a redemption tour, right? You ask any publicist that was around back then, they'll tell you. Now, there's none of that.
oh nigga, it's
There's none of that. People is on your ass. You do something stupid, you fuck up,
you gotta stay quiet.
and you may not come back from it. To be honest.
200%.
And that's just the times we're in. With Chris, and I also don't think Chris got away as scot-free as people tend to believe.
No.
Like
He's
Chris has not been on any major award shows. His music kind of gets like,
You got to remember, Chris Brown, before the situation happened, Chris Brown was
double mint
mint
Yeah.
gum. Like, he was selling the Wrigley's bubble gum.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a
Brown.
Wrigley's bubble gum commercial
Since
since.
It was and it doesn't even sound crazy. I don't give a fuck. He was going to be Mike.
200%. They were literally positioning him to be that.
That was our generation, Mike.
They were positioning him for that space. Once everything happened,
I see Mal's face.
what? I'm listening.
He was Mike. He was Mike. Say yes.
I agree. I think he's better than Mike, but that's neither here nor there. Like, that's just me.
I like that. I would actually, I wouldn't. It's not even as much of an argument as you would think.
Like, that's
Yeah,
just like, yeah, like
Nah,
that's just.
It's not.
But-
he's not. So
What I would say is, after everything happened, Chris made a decision. And that decision pushed him down the trajectory that he went.
Also, I think it's just about. So the thing about cancel culture is, if you have a large enough fan base,
Mm-hmm.
and your crime or thing or infraction is not to the most utmost levels of, egregiousness, you'll be fine. And I think we've seen that with Chris. What he did, the assault was terrible. It was not okay. But he had enough of a fan base to say, we got him. And then when, also, here goes a major thing. When the victim
Yep.
says,
Everything's
it's
all good.
fine, I love this guy, it's no issue here. Matter of fact, I'll try again. To the entire world, everybody's like, okay. That's not what's happening with Tory. That's not what's going to happen with him.
Nope. Not this go
So,
round.
you weren't at that level, right? You look at somebody like R. Kelly, who for years skated by because of the fan base. But once you hit this era where these people are not going to lay down and let you just walk over them and get over on them, and motherfuckers are really going to hold you to the fire, oh, we've seen what happened there. And it was necessary.
Yeah.
It's necessary. You get what I'm saying? Like Cat Williams said, the speed limit is necessary, or everybody will go flying and there'll be a bunch of car crashes and a lot of deaths.
Yep.
Door